think that's it.
Break time at last.
Break time. Tea
time. Yeah.
Hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Aldrich Public Library's break room and kitchen.
This is a sure sign of a busy library. This is the only space we have right now.
Uh-huh.
Everything else is booked up.
You can join the staff in our break room.
Yeah, this is our break room. It's a perfect place to have tea for Frankenstein tea.
So we realized it's been a bit of a wait since our last one, which was St. Patrick's Day. But, it's been a very busy library this spring. But we have some wonderful updates for you today, and we've got a really fun book to share with you. But I think, are we going to start with a mental health check-in?
We're going to start with a mental health check-in. At Frankenstein Tea, Ian and I like to stay connected to you through this digital format. Maybe you haven't had a chance to come into the library. Maybe you have. Maybe you just are a Frankenstein Tea fan. Frankenstein Tea is a format we use. As Ian said, we're going to communicate updates. We're going to share some excerpts from a new book he has in the children's room. And we're going to have some tea and conversation. And I'm going to start with a little mental health check-in. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And on Frankenstein Tea, we like to just communicate to you a little bit of a self-check-in, not mandatory, not obligatory, not nothing to set you off, right? That's not our intention, but we just like to offer this as like a way for you to self-regulate and to say, maybe I should try one of those things, or maybe I should do that, or I did all those things. I am having a good day, and now I know why. So just a little preface to these. Again, not a mandate here, but for a self-check-in, have you had enough sleep? Have you had a good meal? Have you taken a shower and brushed your teeth? Have you been outside and enjoyed some fresh air? Have you moved your body and exercised? Have you thought good thoughts about yourself and others? We could say that both ways. Have you thought good thoughts about others and yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Yourself and others are both in there equally. And have you connected with someone you care about and or love?
Have you read a good book?
Have you read a good book?
Sounds good. I like that.
Have you watched a Frankenstein Tea?
Have you watched a Frankenstein Tea? And it occurs to me we didn't do introductions at all. So this is Kristin Bauman. This is our library director. And
Ian Gauthier. Children's services in the lower level of the library.
Not the basement, the lower level.
Yeah, the lower level. They're always very clear on that.
That's right.
Oh, I've been schooled on that in past libraries. Lower level.
Lower level, yep. So, without further ado, I think maybe, since we just talked about the children's room, why don't we transition into doing some reading?
Yeah, so May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We'll probably be coming at you again with some other resources about mental health and future Frankenstein Teas this month and for her programs. And April was Financial Literacy Month. And so, it's early May, end of April still. So we're gonna tie those two together today. And Ian had a great book for us to do that with, or as the kids call him, Mr. Ian.
Mr. Ian, that's right. So we actually just got this week, and I get to read the reviews, in order of the books. So I remember reading the reviews and ordering this one. But it's really fun to, when they come down to the children's room to, just peruse them. And some of these books that we have, they're down in the children's room, but they're very thought-provoking. And this is one of those. It's surprisingly deep and thought-provoking. And I have other books down in the children's room about financial literacy. This one, I think, goes like a step beyond everything that I have down in the children's room. And it's a very changing world, isn't it?
It's a changing world, and always so good to talk to young ones about money.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
that's why you have books already. That's why they're still publishing books about it. It's a thing, right?
Yeah.
That not everybody grew up doing. I think it's changing generationally now, but
Mm-hmm.
certainly not for our parents and grandparents.
Right.
It was not what they talked about.
One thing that I really like about this one too, I mean, so it is very, it's very engaging and very entertaining, but it also it kind of has a philosophical side as well to it, as you will see. So it's very thought provoking for anyone, any reader. What age, depending, it doesn't matter what age you are. So this is called "Your Money and the World: How to Spend, Save, Donate, and Invest Sustainably." And this is by Cecily Beccari, translated by Jeffrey K. Butt, and Lacolum. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. Yeah.
We thought it appropriate in the kitchen at the kitchen table to talk about money.
Yeah, that's right. All right. So our first section that we're going to read, I think we're going to skip right ahead to the philosophical section, and we're going to read "Can Money Buy Happiness?"
Can money buy happiness? This is a very important question. Here are two well-known stories that can help provide an answer.
Midas's Golden Touch. Midas was the king of Phrygia, an area between the Black and Mediterranean seas. He was obsessed with being rich and always wanted more money. One day, the god Dionysus granted him a wish. Midas's wish was for everything he touched to turn to gold. His wish came true, but it turned out that Midas couldn't eat anymore because whenever he sat down at his table, his dinner table, his food would turn to gold. He couldn't even hug his children for fear that they too would turn into golden statues as soon as he touched them. Midas came to see that money couldn't meet his most basic essential needs, love and food. So Midas asked Dionysus to undo his wish. Now we've got a little bit of another story, the Fisherman's Parable. We've got a little dialogue back and forth here.
Why?
To make money,
But why?
so you can buy a larger boat.
And then?
You'll catch more fish and make more money to buy a nicer house and have staff.
Why?
To fish for you and make you even richer.
And after that?
After that, you'll have a happy and carefree life.
Isn't that what I already have?
So the fisherman's fable, a fisherman was relaxing in the shade of a palm tree when a rich man walked past and suggested he should work harder.
How much money is enough money?
You have enough money if you can live comfortably without having to worry about paying the bills. Food, insurance, housing, clothing, etc. And here we have a little graphic novel, comic. The bills are paid and there's enough left over for a vacation. How do you know if you're rich?
That's a tougher question to answer. One answer is you're rich when you're not worried about money. You have a good quality of life and you're meeting all your basic needs.
But when we look around, we see the gap is quite wide between different people in different countries. If we compare ourselves with people who go to bed hungry, then maybe we are rich. But compared to those who always sport the latest fashions, then maybe we feel poor.
There are also many different forms of wealth. You can have a wealth of experience, ideas, or talent, or be rich in emotions, connections, or your ability to share. Being rich doesn't necessarily mean having a lot of money.
Money and happiness.
Many people think that having lots of money makes you really happy. Indeed, most countries still use money to measure wealth and happiness. But some countries, like Bhutan and New Zealand, have realized money doesn't tell the whole story. In measuring their own wealth, these countries are asking citizens about their quality of life, their level of education, their health, their free time, their cultural activities, and the quality of their environment.
And we have two people. Here, I'm going to get a little bit closer to the camera so you can see.
I think she says,
Here, I'll bring it back to you.
I'm lucky to be able to go for a walk and feel safe.
And the woman at the bottom is saying, and I'm fortunate to be able to spend my free time playing the guitar and being with my cat. So the next section that we're going to look at is think before you spend.
With all the modern ways to pay for things, we hardly ever see money anymore. We no longer see it changing hands, so sometimes we lose sight of how much we're spending and how much is left over. It's important not to spend more money than you actually have in the bank. Every time you feel like buying something, you can check your bank account and ask the following questions. 1. Do I really need this? 2. Will buying this make me feel happy for a long time? If the answer to either of these questions is yes, then maybe it's a good idea to make the purchase. But ask yourself a few more questions as you head to the cash register. Does the price seem reasonable? Do I have enough money? If I don't buy this, what else could I use my money for?
That's good for kids to ask and also good for adults to ask.
I wanted to read that section.
This next section, well, we just had Earth Day just last week. And so this seemed like the great section to read today. Protecting the planet. Every time you buy something and use it, you are consuming. Every day we consume when we eat, get dressed, play with our toys, use things made of paper and plastic, ride our bicycles. All the things we buy have an impact on the planet because it takes natural resources to make them. Every egg needs a chicken to lay it. To feed our chickens, we need grain. To make our clothes, we need water and soil to grow cotton. For our wooden toys, we need to cut down trees. For our bicycles, we need to take metal from the earth. In Europe and North America, there is often too much consumption, and some people can be described as impulse shoppers. If the whole world behaved that way, we need 3 to 5 planets to keep everyone happy. So, how do we enjoy life while also being more responsible? Our way is to use our toys and our clothes longer instead of buying new ones. All these small gestures reduce our environmental footprint. Now we wanted to end with sustainable finance is the last page.
A little bit more about the earth here, right?
Yep.
The economy revolves around money, and money is one of the engines of progress. But the economy also depends on the use of natural resources like water, wood, and minerals. For a very long time, we used these resources with little thought about the impact on the planet.
A lot of these resources need time to regenerate. So if we overuse them, our economies could collapse. We must protect the natural resources and recognize their true value.
This is our challenge, and money has a critical role to play in taking it on. Each financial decision, big or small, is an opportunity to improve our quality of life and our well-being, and to protect the environment. That's what sustainable finance is all about.
Because, at the end of the day, the economy and the environment are one and the same. In fact, they both come from the ancient Greek word, okos, meaning home. So it all comes down to managing the only home we have, Mother Earth, for this and future generations.
Great book.
Yeah, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So I think it's super thought-provoking for kids and for adults.
Yeah, I was thinking, I was going to say, feel free to rewind and show it to your kids or your parents.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Right?
Well,
because it's multi-generational.
It is, and I really love the how there are different countries like New Zealand and Bhutan that are using like this different metric to kind of like measure happiness.
Yeah.
Because we tend to just think, all right, more money. You always have to, if you're weighing two different jobs, take the one that makes more money,
Right.
But there's so many other things to consider as well, right?
Yeah. Ian and I had a quick discussion of that prior to the tape being rolled. This idea that we feel fortunate that we have something that I call job rich, right? That our work is very fulfilling to us, and it's creative outlets, and it's it's challenging. I often go home and my family says, "How is work?" And I say, "Well, it's work."
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
They call it work, right? But that's not a reflection of how much I love it or enjoy it or how much it feeds me. And so job rich is a word that I like to use. And the other thing that these readings brought up for me is when we discuss environmental issues, there's often this pushback that's too expensive, or we can't afford to do that, whether it's a recycling initiative or something else, and the potential rebuttal to that is, well, it depends on what you're measuring. Right?
Yeah.
Like, what are you measuring? Right? Is it money? Right? Well, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But is it that we'll have trees longer and clean air and clean water longer? That if that's the measurement, we need to put that into the equation.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do tend to live in the now, and sometimes we don't think about 10 years from now or 15 years. We were mentioning that's one of the questions that you often ask in an interview. Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Right.
So, but I always am fond of talking about Terry Pratchett and his boots theory of economics. And a person could buy really cheap boots and might sustain them for 1 year. But if you could buy more expensive boots that could sustain you for 10 years, you would be rich, right? Because you wouldn't have to buy new boots every single year.
Right.
And the person who had to buy new boots every single year would end up spending more than the person who bought boots that lasted for 10 years.
That first year for 10 years.
Exactly. Yes.
Less money.
Yeah.
So it's.
But you kind of see that played out with boots. But you could talk about that with like infrastructure and pipes and plumbing and roads.
Right. Fixing roads or flood preparation
let's fill in a pothole and put a Band-Aid over it, and make it last one more year, or let's get a new road. It's going to be so much more expensive. We can't do that, Yeah. So I think we see that kind of like played out,
in all kinds of scenarios.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's fascinating stuff. Yeah.
So available in the children's room. And I did want to say also that with your selections and other selections, it's always worth a walk through the children's room, right? There's always something good to read.
Yeah.
The part of my announcements is that we're going to start to read over the next 2 months, May and June, Catherine Patterson's new book, Local Hero, Local Favorite here, and her new book is in the children's room.
Yes.
And my adult book club is going to read that, and
she's coming in August, isn't she?
And she's coming in August.
So, was it August 14th or something like that?
I don't know that date yet, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. There is a date. I just don't know it.
That's all right. No worries. But stay tuned. Because she'll be here in August to talk about her new
But again,
book.
book in the children's room.
Yeah.
Right? What are you going to find down there? Well, or in the teen room.
I think it was one of the Jeopardy champions, or like probably multiple Jeopardy champions, have said that they go to the children's room to read books to get their information.
Yeah.
And the thing is about children's books, they have to be succinct and concise.
Yeah.
Because one, kids don't have a very long attention span, and you have to keep them engaging and interesting. So you really have to I have to take my hat off to writers of children's literature because they have to, take these big ideas and make them concise and understandable, simply understandable. Yeah. And so I have a lot of adults who come down and they have a choice between like a big thick book that they could get out of the adult room or they could like take this little thin book that they can get through in a couple days or 2 days or a single day and get a grasp of the idea. Yeah. And so maybe for what they are looking for, the children's room is actually the best option, and there's nothing wrong with that. So.
I have to do one library plug there. That's what I appreciate about this library and libraries that use Dewey Decimal System, because you can find something in the adult room that's on, photosynthesis, and whatever is on the spine label for that book, the section that book is cataloged in and shelved in, it will be the same in the children's room and in the YA room, right? So 3 sections of nonfiction, potentially a 4th section in reference, will be the same number. And so, and we try to teach people that. Like, if this book on photosynthesis, as Ian just said, is too much for you, come downstairs and get 3 sentences on it, right? Or 15 pages on it, as opposed to 150 pages on it. And so I appreciate that about Dewey, that we can, because it's not only about what they can, right? It's reading level, it's time, it's how much do they really need, right? Do they just need a short snippet or a small understanding of it, a grasp of it, or do they need a longer thing? And we'll have that too,
And that's part of what we do as librarians, is kind of like figure out what do they really need and want. And sometimes, they come in with an idea of what they need and want, and it's
and
actually...
we're like, let's go downstairs.
Let's
go see Mr. Ian. Let's see if he has something.
This book is not going to fulfill what you actually need, So, it's a...
and I appreciate
the fine art
that.
of the reference.
Right. And Dewey really helps us navigate that.
It does.
It does. It's set up to do that.
Yeah.
So that they're consistent in different reading levels and in rooms of the library.
And that's a magical thing to teach, kids or adults that, if you learn your Dewey Decimal for your favorite subject, you can go into any library and you can find your subject.
Find it, right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So if you like spiders.
Or if you don't like spiders. Then you stay away from 545.4. Well, shall we?
Let's do a few announcements.
Some announcements. Yeah.
I have to tell you, I literally took glasses from a woman today who offered them out of her purse at the front desk because I took mine home the other day. So thank you. I don't even know your name, but I'll make sure they go back to the front desk.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I went down there thinking, you guys must have cheaters at the desk. And they were all gone. All our cheaters were gone. So if you have extra cheaters at home, bring them in. Let's see, I don't have too many dates, but I did want to say that the Teen Lounge today is open for an after-hours game night. It's limited to 12 participants. It's a registration-only event. Oh, right, you have to, it is not teen night. We are not doing full-on, full-throttle teen night in May. We're trying to revamp that so that it's more enjoyable for everyone. Staff included, as well as for the kids. When we get a big mix like that,
40 kids, 50 kids.
Yeah, 40 kids, 50 kids, varying it. So we're working that so that it's I don't want to say more productive, but more enjoyable for everyone. So they're going to be tonight after hours board game night. I think we're playing something called Wavelength. On the May 16th and May 30th, we're having lawn games and an ice cream social. That is not registration. Lawn games and ice cream social. Everybody is welcome to come. We have Nintendo Switch Day on Saturday, May 24th. I don't know if that's true. I'm going to say that's not true.
Okay.
Because I think that's Memorial Day weekend.
Oh, it is? Yes, it is Memorial Day weekend.
I'm going to say that's not true. come back.
Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. And we have we've had a fantastic year with our Artist in Residence program that was grant funded. Thank you so much, Vermont Community Foundation. Thank you so much, Pam Wilson, for being our Artist in Residence. What a great time that has been. That is Thursdays. For this month, it is Thursday, May 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th. I think that's every Thursday. It's from 11 to 6 in the Teen Lounge. And on Tuesdays, May 13th and 27th in the Teen Lounge.
Fantastic.
Great program.
They were doing gel printing, I think, this week.
Oh my gosh, they have done so much great stuff in there.
Yeah.
It is great. Pam is great with the kids. Juliet, our teen services librarian, is great with the kids. That's been a really, that's been pure success here for us at the library. Having the Teen Lounge staffed with people that are interested and available to work with teens, no matter when they show up, has been really, really been successful here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just do a couple of
Sure,
adult
yeah.
things before you finish up. The York hours have changed for spring and summer and fall. They are Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. The Tuesdays and Thursdays are a little bit of a later shift. Same number of hours, just later in the day they start. We're trying to stay there for kids as they come off the school bus and be there for some programs that happen there. They have a very big cribbage club there. And then the Saturdays are additional hours that we started this winter that we're able to maintain this summer, which has been great. Look for more updates about York. We did really successful Porch Fest last year, which was music and entertainment on the front porch at York, people on the lawn. Those were great times. We'll be doing those again. There is Senior Day next week. It is combined with the Friends of the Library's Christine Litchfield memorial concert. It's a memorial concert in honor of Christine Litchfield that the Friends do every year.
Is that on Wednesday?
That is Wednesday, May 7th or 8th?
7th. I think it's 7th.
Next Wednesday at 1 p.m. and it will, or 1:30. 1:30 is Senior Day. I always say 1. It's not. It's 1:30.
1:30.
And it will be in the reading room. We're doing a special combo program there. We have Revolutionary War 250-year-old samplers arriving throughout the month of May for an art opening end of May, June. We'll see when we put that together, when we get the samplers hung. What's a sampler, you ask?
I was just going to ask you that.
What's a sampler? Samplers are cross stitch and handwork.
All right, I know what they are. Yes.
Done by young women.
Yes.
And these are authentic. This is part of the 250th celebration of our country.
Yes.
This is one way that we'll be celebrating that here at the Aldrich.
That was a way that they would like practice their skills and kind of like showcase their skills.
They would showcase their
Yes.
skills. I think there's probably also some secrets there we don't know about sending messages.
Oh, maybe.
I think
Yeah.
there's some sending messages. It's really fascinating. These have never been documented and brought together, but there's a sampler initiative throughout the country, and there's a woman in New Hampshire that is including Vermont in this.
This is very cool.
It's very cool, and she has mapped out places where the samplers would be. She picked the Aldrich, and we said yes. And so they're arriving. They're starting to arrive. We will get them hung. They will come with some, I believe that's called provenance.
Yes,
right? Their
provenance.
history,
Yep.
their history and who did them and where they lived. These are Vermont samplers from this area.
This is fantastic.
Oh,
This
it's
is really
very
interesting.
exciting. It's
Oh, yeah.
very exciting. It's really exciting for the Aldrich to sort of become museum-like.
Oh, yeah.
And we got that because the History Museum
Just
was
up the
doing
hill.
their own things,
Yeah.
but we thought people would kind of come to both.
Yeah.
And so that's why she picked us. And then in the end, when she came to visit, she's like, I love this room. It's the Vermont room, which I am like feverishly trying to update and, repaint and change the lighting and get new carpet and fix the walls. And she says, don't touch a thing, because the low lighting and the wall coloring is so authentic.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, and it's important for, I don't think they're UVs when they come out of the lights, but the fabric, the sampler themselves can't have the bright lights.
Yeah,
So
sure.
she was like, it's perfect, don't touch a thing.
Great, yeah.
I said great. How long can the sampler stay? So that's happening this month. There's several book talks happening this month at the library. We have a reading circle book talk. There's a Thursday night book talk. The Thursday night book group will be reading something called Eager, which is about beavers, and it's a tie-in to a beaver talk that's happening here, which I think is by Protect Our Wildlife in Vermont. They're coming May 31st, and so that's a tie-in. And then
that's very relevant to
very
what's going
relevant.
on right now.
Very relevant.
What with flooding coming up and Vermont's monsoon season.
People believe that beavers can change the trajectory of floods for sure.
Yeah.
That their whole intention is to go back to 2,000 years ago when the water ran correctly. This is what I hear. And so I haven't read that book yet, but it's called Eager, and we'll have some for you at the front desk. We're reading we're reading the Catherine Patterson as well, and a short novella called Recitative by Toni Morrison, which is also a great read. And then my last announcement is we have launched the Community Partners Desk here at the Aldrich. And it is literally an old circulation desk, a large desk that we brought down to the main floor, into the reading rooms. We're working to invite community partners in it to bring resources to our patrons in all sorts of ways, in all sorts of deliverables. And we have Turning Point bringing recovery coaches starting on Tuesdays next week from 2 to 5. Recovery coaches will be here. We have Barry Up offering flood resistance. We just got a great offer from, I shouldn't speak about it until I know, but they do after school nature programs, and they want to come and do a little display.
Is it North Branch?
It's not North Branch.
All right.
That's why I didn't know who it was. It's exciting.
Yes.
Just came. So if you're an organization or an individual that would like to partner with us and bring resources to the library and to our patronage, get in touch and let us know. We're looking to schedule time at that desk and make sure we offer a wide variety of information and tools to people.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, all right, I'll move on to children's programs. So the big one is Milk and Cookies Night. So this is a traditional annual story time where we invite VIP readers, usually the school principals from our local schools, to come and read to the kids. And for some of the kids, it's a chance for them to meet their principal if they're going to be going into school for the first time next year.
I hadn't even thought of that.
It's a chance for those
the parents
preschool,
and the kids.
The parents and the kids to meet the upcoming principals. So. You're encouraged to come in your pajamas, bring your favorite Snuggly, and listen to our guest readers share their favorite books. So this year's VIP readers are going to be Brenda Waterhouse from Berry City Elementary Middle School, Shannon Miller from Berrytown Middle and Elementary School, and Krista Martin for the Montessori School of Central Vermont. And I believe Heidi from the Family Center is also going to be there, and she's going to lead some songs because she's kind of like the Family Center's master singer.
That's great.
So, and I'll be your MC. So it'll be a lot of fun. And every kid gets a free book and, of course, milk and cookies. So it's going to be a great evening. So that is going to be Thursday, May 22nd, 6:30 to 7:30. And they'll be right in our Milton Community Room. So, put it on your calendar.
Excellent.
Thursday, May 22nd, Milk and Cookies Night. Beyond that, it's mostly our regular programs. So we have Story Hour running on Mondays at 10:30 down in the Milne Room. And after Memorial Day, we'll be moving up to Courier Park. So we're all looking forward to being outside. Hopefully we'll have some good weather. Yoga for Kiddos is on Tuesdays at 10:30. So come on by and try some yoga and some really fun little movement activities and memory games and all kinds of things.
Memory games, that's always a hit.
It is.
Yeah.
Scarves and music.
Scarves,
yes.
Free stands.
Yes.
And always ends with a story, if not 2 or 3.
That's right.
Yes.
And then we have playgroup every Wednesday morning, and that is going to be at 10 o'clock a.m. to 11 in the Milne Community Room. And that's going to continue all throughout the summer as well.
That's great.
So, it will be really fantastic.
That's great.
Lego Club continues all throughout the summer as well, and that is Wednesday evenings, 4 to 5:30 p.m. in the Milne Community Room. Thursdays, we have Chess Club, 4 to 5, and that will at least go to the end of the school year. We're not sure yet about the summer. We will see. I'll have to put that to the chess clubbers and see if people can come. And then we have a new program that's been going since February break, and it's Dragon Strike. This is Dungeons and Dragons kind of for middle schoolers. So it's a simpler version of Dungeons and Dragons. It's not quite as complex. And this is for kids ages 9 to 13. And it's a fantasy-themed tabletop role-playing game where the kids are adventurers and they have to go on a quest. And they always have a goal, and they have to work together. So it's a really great team-building kind of skill and socialization skill. It's a really great opportunity for the kids to work together. Yeah. So that is, it does change every month based on staff availability, and we only have one per month. But it is limited to 12, so you do have to register. Just the way that it works, we can only have 6 people per game. So right now we have 2 games running concurrently. So make sure that you register. You can email me at childrens.librarian@aldrichpubliclibrary.org or call the Children's Room 477-1217 to register your child.
It's great.
Yeah. So,
Dragon Strike has been hugely successful.
It has been, yeah.
It's been hugely successful.
People have been really enjoying it, and registration is usually full, at the end of the first week when we put it out. Yeah. So the next one is Friday, May 16th, and it's 5 to 8. And if it's in the evening, then we provide pizza. If we do it during the day, like on a Saturday, we provide snacks. So it's a really great opportunity. And don't worry about not knowing the rules. We'll explain the rules to you.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So, that's all I've got for you. Yeah. And summer is coming.
All he has. I'm tired of listening to him. I'm sitting here thinking, how are we covering that? How are we covering that?
Well, it is library magic. We
Library magic. It's what we brew here in this kitchen. Is library magic.
We are. I think we're very good at managing our time. We try to be in the budget. So but we have our big book sale coming in July.
Yeah.
And just remember that. Those Friends of the Library fundraisers, that's what pays for this programming. So that is our programming budget.
That's such a great point, that the budget, the operating budget, does all money for all programs in this building, no matter the age category, come from the Friends funding. That is the only way that we can have programs in this building, is because you support our Friends group.
So anytime you participate in any of the Friends raffles or the book sales or light up the library, you are sustaining our programming.
You are.
Thank you.
Yeah. On that note, keep reading.
And stay healthy.
Stay safe. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for coming.